Okay, let's unpack this. Ever feel like just getting along with people is way harder than it should be?
Oh, absolutely. At work, at home, just everywhere.
Right. And you want those insights, the key things that really work, but quickly, without digging through tons of advice.
That's a constant challenge, navigating all those interactions.
Yeah.
Finding efficient ways to make them better is, well, invaluable.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're hitting a classic, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
A foundational text, for sure.
Think of this as the express lane. We're pulling out the core stuff, the actionable bits to help you build better connections, be more influential, kind of cut through the noise.
And what's still so relevant about Carnegie is his focus on, well, basic human nature. These aren't just tricks. They're grounded in how we actually tick.
Right. He really saw dealing with people as like the major challenge for most folks.
Hmm.
So the book aims to boost your confidence, your influence, get people to cooperate more, and it's structured, right, into key parts.
Yeah, it builds logically. Starts with the real basics of handling people, then moves to making people genuinely like you, then strategies for winning them over to your way of thinking,
And finally, leadership, how to guide change without causing offense.
which is a tricky balance.
Totally.
Yeah.
So our mission here, extract those practical takeaways, maybe some surprising details, to make you more effective in your interactions, starting, like, now. Ready.
Let's do it. Part 1, fundamental techniques in handling people. And the very first one Carnegie hits us with is, don't criticize, condemn, or complain.
Sounds so simple, doesn't it? But wow, is it hard to follow sometimes.
It really is. Our first instinct is often to point out the flaw.
Yeah, but Carnegie says it's almost always a bad move. It just puts people on the defensive, right? I mean, think about how you feel when someone starts laying into you.
Exactly. You shut down or you fight back. And he explains why people tend to rationalize their own actions. Criticism feels like a personal attack.
So instead of changing behavior, it just builds up.
Resentment, precisely. Resentment. He argues positive approaches, understanding, positive reinforcement, that's way more effective. People are driven by emotion, not just logic.
He brings in some heavy hitters too, doesn't he? Like Dr. Johnson saying, even God waits till the end to judge.
Right. Puts it in perspective. And Confucius saying, clean your own doorstep first.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And Carlyle's point about showing your own greatness by how you treat others, that's powerful.
It really reframes the whole interaction.
So for you listening, the takeaway is maybe pause before you criticize. Ask yourself, what's my real goal here? Am I trying to help or just vent? Understanding first, maybe.
That's the foundation, which leads nicely into the second technique. Give honest and sincere appreciation.
Okay, so shifting from the negative to the positive. This isn't just about being nice, is it?
Not at all. Carnegie taps into something really deep here, that fundamental human craving to feel important, to feel valued.
Ah, that makes sense. When you genuinely appreciate someone, you're meeting that core need. Makes them more open to you, maybe.
Definitely. He argues this desire for significance is actually what drives a lot of human progress. People want to feel their efforts matter.
But he draws a clear line between real appreciation and just flattery.
A very clear line. Flattery is seen as insincere, often self-serving. People usually smell it a mile off.
Yeah, you can tell when it's fake.
But genuine appreciation
Yeah.
that comes from the heart, it's specific. It's noticing something real and acknowledging it.
He mentions Emerson, right? Saying everyone has something to teach us.
Yes, which implies everyone has something worthy of appreciation if you look for it. And that anonymous quote about seizing opportunities for kindness.
And Charles Schwab, the big industrialist, saying his success came from appreciation.
Huge endorsement for the power of positive reinforcement. He believed in rousing enthusiasm through appreciation.
Okay, here's a detail I found really interesting, the story about Stevie Morris.
Ah, yes, who became Stevie Wonder.
Exactly. Apparently, an early teacher saw his talent, his musical gift, and genuinely appreciated it, called it out.
And that recognition, that sincere validation, was apparently a massive turning point for him.
Wow, just shows the impact, right? A small act of genuine appreciation changing a life.
It underlines the potential we all have every day to lift someone up with just a few sincere words.
So for you listening, it's not about fake praise. It's about actively looking for the good, the effort, the specific positive things in people around you, and then saying it sincerely.
It builds such strong bonds.
Yeah.
Okay, the third fundamental technique shifts focus again. Arouse in the other person an eager want.
Right. This is about perspective taking, isn't it? Seeing things from their side.
Exactly. Carnegie uses that great fishing analogy.
Yeah, the bait one.
You don't bait the hook with strawberries and cream because you like them.
Ah.
You use worms because that's what the fish wants. It's about their desires, not yours.
So understand what drives them.
Precisely. Every single thing someone does, Carnegie argues, stems from some desire, some want. If you want to influence them, you need to connect with that want.
Show them how your idea, or whatever it is, helps them get what they want.
It's about framing things in terms of their benefit. He even talks about sales not as pushing a product, but as solving the other person's problem, helping them achieve their goals.
That's a much more collaborative way to think about it.
It really is. And the quotes he uses here are powerful. William Winter on the deep need for self-expression.
And Harry Overstreet, that quote is amazing. First arouse in the other person an eager want.
He who can do this has the whole world with him. It's a bold claim, but think about its truth.
Yeah. And Henry Ford stressing the importance of seeing the other person's viewpoint first.
And Owen DeYoung calling that ability to step into someone else's mind a key skill.
Okay, here's a subtle point he makes that I liked. Letting others feel ownership of an idea.
Ah, the cooking and stirring analogy.
Yes. Instead of just presenting your finished idea, maybe guide them towards it.
Yeah.
Let them feel like they helped shape it.
It taps into that need for significance again, doesn't it? If it feels partly their idea, they're much more invested.
Makes total sense. So for you listening, the challenge is to shift focus. Before you push what you want, genuinely try to figure out what the other person wants or needs. Find that overlap.
That's where true influence lies, mutual benefit. Okay, ready for part 2. 6 ways to make people like you.
Let's do it. Where does he start?
Principle number 1. Become genuinely interested in other people.
This feels related to the appreciation point, but maybe broader.
I think so. It's less about specific praise and more about authentic curiosity about the other person as a whole. Carnegie says you'll make more friends in 2 months by being interested in them than in 2 years trying to get them interested in you.
Wow, that's a strong statement. So focus outwards, not inwards.
Exactly. It takes effort, though. Real interest requires paying attention, asking thoughtful questions, remembering details. It builds loyalty.
Being present in the conversation, basically.
Absolutely. He quotes Alfred Adler, the psychologist, saying people who aren't interested in others tend to have the most difficulties in life.
That's telling.
And Publius Syrus had that simple line. We are interested in others when they are interested in us. It's reciprocal.
So for you listening, put the phone down, make eye contact, ask questions, and actually listen to the answers. Show you care.
Simple, but transformative. Okay, second way, smile.
Okay, this one seems really basic. Just smile.
Seems basic, but think about the immediate effect. A genuine smile is like a universal welcome sign, isn't it? Carnegie says it communicates non-verbally, I like you, I'm glad to see you.
And that feels good to receive.
It does. He points out that actions often speak louder than words. A smile shows warmth. And interestingly, even if they can't see you smile, like on the phone, it changes your tone.
Huh, never thought about that.
And there's a psychological loop, too.
Huh.
Drawing on William James, Carnegie suggests acting cheerful can actually make you feel more cheerful.
So fake it till you make it, kinda.
A little bit, yeah. By controlling the outward action, you can influence the inner feeling. Happiness is partly an inside job, shaped by our thoughts and actions.
He pulls in some great quotes here, too. The old Chinese proverb about not opening shop if you can't smile.
Love that one. And Lincoln saying, people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Shakespeare on how thinking makes things good or bad.
And James V. McConnell on encouragement being more effective a smile is encouraging, right?
Definitely. So, listener, remember the power of that simple, genuine smile. It costs nothing, but can change the whole tone of an interaction instantly.
Okay, number 3 feels very personal.
It is. Remember and use the other person's name.
Oh, this is a big one for me. I feel terrible when I forget names.
You're not alone. Carnegie says a person's name is, to them, the sweetest sound. It's fundamental to their identity.
And he says people often mess it up because they don't focus right at the start.
Yeah, they don't make the initial effort, maybe out of slight embarrassment or distraction, and then it's awkward later. He stresses developing a system, repeat it, associate it, write it down, whatever works for you.
Because using someone's name, it shows you see them specifically, not just, hey, you.
Exactly. It acknowledges their individuality. It's a sign of respect. As Carnegie notes, a name is unique and deeply personal.
Emerson's quote about good manners being small sacrifices fits here, doesn't it? Takes a little effort.
It does. And that classic political line, remembering a name is statesmanship. Forgetting it is oblivion. A bit dramatic, maybe, but it highlights the impact.
So listener, make that extra effort. Focus when you hear a name. Use it soon after. It really does make a difference.
Huge difference. Okay, number 4, shifts gears slightly. Be a good listener. Let others talk often.
Wait, so to be liked, talk less.
Kind of, or rather, listen more. Carnegie argues that attentive listening is actually the secret weapon of great conversationalists, at least in the eyes of the other person.
Because people like talking about themselves.
Absolutely. We all do, mostly. Giving someone your focused, interested attention is incredibly flattering. He even says sympathetic listening can calm angry people down.
I can see that. Feeling heard diffuses things.
And he gives examples, like Edward Bach, who apparently charmed famous people just by asking about their childhoods and listening intently.
So it's not about having all the answers, but asking the right questions and then shutting up.
Pretty much. He quotes Dr. Butler from Columbia saying, people only focused on themselves are, in a way, uneducated.
Ouch.
And Reader's Digest noting people just need an audience sometimes. Isaac Marcusson observed how rare good listeners are.
And Charles Eliot from Harvard called exclusive attention the sincerest form of flattery.
Jack Woodford nailed it. Too few can resist the implicit compliment of someone hanging on their every word.
So, listener takeaway. Practice active listening. Ask open-ended questions. Resist the urge to jump in with your own story immediately. Focus on them.
It's a powerful skill. Number 5 follows logically. Talk in terms of the other person's interests.
Okay, so first listen to find out what they care about, then talk about that.
Exactly. It builds on understanding their eager want and on listening. Carnegie says this is the direct route to building rapport. Find out what matters to them and engage on that topic.
Makes them feel understood, right? And probably more interested in talking to you.
Definitely. He notes it's highly effective in professional settings too. People prefer to engage with and even do business with those who seem to understand and share their interests.
Requires a bit of prep, maybe? Or just good observation skills during the conversation?
Both work. Paying attention to clues they drop, or even doing a little homework if you know you'll be meeting someone. Showing you've thought about their world makes a big impression.
So for you listening, try to steer conversations towards topics you know or suspect the other person is passionate about. Find that common ground.
It makes the connection much stronger. All right, the final principle in this section, number 6. Sincerely make the other person feel important.
This feels like the culmination of many of the others.
It really does tie things together. Carnegie emphasizes that genuinely making someone feel significant, valued, and important is perhaps the most direct way to create a positive feeling.
And it's about sincerity again, right? Not manipulation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He talks about the simple joy of doing something for someone else with no strings attached. The power of genuine appreciation we discussed earlier. Even small courtesies matter.
Little things like holding a door or saying thank you meaningfully.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging their inherent worth. Disraeli's famous quote fits perfectly. Talk to people about themselves, and they will listen for hours.
Because it makes them feel important.
Right. And Emerson's profound reminder that every single person we meet is superior to us in some way.
Wow. Okay, so the task is to find that way and acknowledge it.
That's the core of it. Look for the good, the unique, the valuable in everyone, and let them know you see it. Sincerely.
So, listener, actively seek ways to validate others. A genuine compliment, showing interest in their opinion, acknowledging their effort.
Yeah.
It goes such a long way.
It really does. So just to quickly recap the big ideas we've covered from Carnegie today.
Yeah, let's pull it together. We started with those fundamental techniques. Number 1, crucially, avoid criticizing, condemning, or complaining.
Number 2, replace that with giving honest, sincere appreciation. Find the good.
And number 3, focus on their perspective. Arouse in the other person an eager want by seeing things from their side.
Then we hit the 6 ways to make people like you. First, be genuinely interested in them.
Second, the simple power of a smile.
Third, remember and use their name, that sweet sound.
Fourth, become a great listener. Let them do most of the talking.
Fifth, steer the conversation to their interests.
And sixth, sincerely make them feel important, valued.
Yeah. It's a lot, but they all weave together, don't they?
They really do. And applying these, it's not just about being nice. It's about understanding how people work. fundamentally, which helps you navigate everything more effectively, build those stronger connections you want. You get those aha moments about interactions.
And they are practical, things you can actually do.
Yeah.
So we really encourage you, listening right now, pick just one or two of these, maybe remembering names or focusing on listening more in your next chat.
Yeah, try it out consciously. See what happens. Notice the difference it makes.
You might be surprised.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. If these principles, which seem kind of straightforward on the surface, can genuinely have such a big impact on our relationships and influence, well, it makes you wonder, right?
Wonder what?
What other, maybe deeper layers of human motivation or interaction are we still missing? What else could we understand about ourselves and others that might, unlock even more connection and understanding in our lives? Something to ponder.